Hence to the 12 tribes of the children of Israel scattered abroad. My name is Lily of the Valley. I bring a greeting in the name of Jehovah our Creator and Jesus Christ of Nazareth, our King. And today's topic is when they talk about their democracy, not such thing exists. Anybody who's appointed senators and mayors when the population is majority of another bloodline or lineage, that's not a democracy. So there's this newborn Alabama mayor where the majority there is black and the mayor is white because they don't believe in the Voting Rights Act. You don't see the Department of Justice down there. You don't see Democrats down there. You don't think the Civil Rights Act people down there. Jesse Jackson and all these puppets, the black-faced ones who work for white supremacy. You don't see them down there saying why these black people can't vote and rule their own communities. It is the same thing as in Culloden, Georgia. All of you have heard about the it's majority black, but the mayor is white by appointment. Maybe the same thing is happening there.
Newbern, Alabama, little town that hasn't had an election since the 1960s. The reason for that is a number of areas, especially in the Deep South, started putting in place these very strange, or should I say peculiar, little rules. And all of these things that were done as a way to circumvent the Voting Rights Act. This is the reason why they decided that democracy had to be put on hold in certain areas. We couldn't just have people go to the ballot box and choose their leaders. I mean, why? That would make it democratic or something. The black residents outnumber the white ones more than 2-1, and yet all these decades, those white residents were allowed to appoint mayors instead of actually holding elections. And for people in
the same thing should happen in Jamaica. No non-Negro or Negress should hold any office in Jamaica. We are the descendants of the 12 tribes of the children of Israel, and the Most High already told us no stranger or people who have not our lineage or brethren should rule over us. So all these Mark Goldens and all these strange looking people, these mulattoes who are being appointed in our governments, this is what happens. So for 60 years, like in this case in Alabama, they cut off the majority from benefiting from the funds. They're destroying documents. The books are not going to be there. They block them out from getting the keys to the mailbox and so on. The same thing is happening in Culloden, Georgia, and a lot of other towns. So look at this. So you have the same thing in Georgia and a lot of these southern places where majority of the city is black. We also have Culloden in Jamaica, Culloden in Scotland, Culloden in Georgia, because it's our forefathers, the black Scots, the black American Indians who settled these places. But if you look, you'll see that the population is mostly black, but the mayor is white, okay? So why is it they don't have elections and put up a black person to run? Is there's a whole lot of collusion, and you don't hear anything from the so-called Department of Justice. You don't hear anything from the Democrats. You don't hear anything from the Republicans who talk about their democracy. So you have black or African American 101 people in Culloden, and white is 73. But there's no elections down there. Why is it the mayor always white? Huh? Where's the Democrats? And then you have a few multiracial. So this is all over America. If they want to talk about democracy, why don't they go through all these little towns, all these little mayorships that have majority black residents in there who can't vote? Why are they being led by somebody who is not looking like them if they're the majority? Why can't they benefit from the jobs that are reserved for people who are majority Negro or majority black in the areas where they're the majority? You would think that's what democracy would look like. But yeah, their democracy is a farce. Okay? So you need to have nobody who doesn't look like you when you're in a majority in a country or in an area. You gotta go tribal again. Make sure to start locally. So everybody in these little Culloden areas, Alabama, Mississippi, Louisiana, take your states back one local area at a time. File the lawsuits under the Voting Rights Act because you have a right to vote. Your area is supposed to represent who you look like. And don't set up one to rule over you who is not from your own lineage and bloodline. And if you put a black face in there and they doing the white supremacist stuff, you gotta remove them too. Get them out. Everybody who you're voting for, they should have a black representation. How that's gonna benefit you. If it not benefit you, it's not a democracy. It's not a government.